Welcome to Center Stage. I'm Mikhailo Curry. It was a sold-out crowd that turned out at the Review Cinema in West End, Toronto, for the Canadian premiere of the documentary film Folk, tracing the history of Ukrainian dance across North America. This film was produced and directed by Roxy Toporovich, a Ukrainian-American filmmaker now living in New York City.
This project has taken me 8 years from start to finish. I actually started, the thought process was in 2001 when I thought maybe I'll make a film about Ukrainian dancing, but in 2003 I seriously started filming, shooting at rehearsals and trying to come up with the story and idea for the film. So from 2003 until today.
Hey darling, 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 my sacred darling. For darling, I believe that your obsession is your only way out of here. It's your only spiritual condition.
This is just warming up. Can you believe it?
Hey darling, darling, darling.
This film has had many screenings across the United States. I wondered what the audience reaction to Folk was.
The reactions to Folk have been amazing. When I have screenings, whether in New York to non-Ukrainian audiences or Ukrainian audiences, everyone seems to really enjoy the film. It's lighthearted. It's a positive look at our community, and it's something different. So whether you're Ukrainian or not Ukrainian, most people come away learning something and having a really good time. So it's been really positive, and a lot more people have come to the film than I ever imagined. So it's reaching a lot of people. It's been great.
And when we needed it most, an immigrant folk dancer gave us a reason to be proud.
In 1925, Vasily Avramenko left Ukrainian territory and landed in Canada. He needed a living. He put on something like 120 concerts in all kinds of Ukrainian communities, getting people to dance for a few cents a lesson and making a living and traveling to the next town, and he'd get a few cents from another 50 kids, and then he'd travel to the next town.
Archival footage of the legendary Vasily Avramenko was truly astonishing.
The amount of research I had to do in order to acquire all of this footage was incredible. I actually learned a lot about the history of Ukrainian dancing in North America. The Avramenko footage, actually a lot of the footage came from Canadian archives. You have an amazing amount of archives here, from the Avramenko estate to the NFB. A lot of my footage was pulled from that. I also found there's footage of Virsky in 1959, of a Virsky concert. And that was actually, a friend of mine saw it on eBay, and it was the 16mm film, the actual film from that concert. So we purchased that, and I, got in the mail from somebody in Minneapolis. So it was an enormous amount of work, an enormous amount of research.
Roma Prima Bohochevska, legendary Ukrainian prima ballerina and teacher, was also featured prominently in the film, leading up to her memorial concert at Lincoln Center. I wondered if Roxy learned anything surprising from the world of Ukrainian dance.
There's a few things I've learned. I didn't realize the depth and the well of knowledge that we have with all of these instructors and all of these companies. I interviewed a lot more companies and a lot more dancers and instructors than actually ended up in the final cut of the film. So I learned everything from not just the history of Ukrainian dance in America, but the history of some of the moves, of some of the steps and positions that we do as Ukrainians, like why are your arms raised? They're raised in glory of the sun. But that didn't, it didn't make the cut of the film. I also, I was able to see how different companies run and work. And so I almost feel like I have this inside knowledge of not how to run a company, but the best of this one, the best of this one, the best of this one. So that was really interesting to see how the community supports a group, who gets into a group, how the group has their shows. So I saw that part of the world, because there's a lot of politics in Ukrainian dancing. There's a lot of drama with Ukrainian dancing, and it's not only just about putting on a show. There's a lot involved. Emotions get involved. So I learned a lot about people and Ukrainians in our community, and I learned that I love it even more than I thought I did. So that was good. I'm really thankful to Andriy Tsibik and to Orlando, and to all the dancers in Ukrainian, in all of the companies, because, you know, I just would say, I'm coming in with a camera and I'm making a movie. And I was able to shoot everything. Nobody said, you can't shoot this at rehearsal. Nobody came up to me and said, hey, I was really upset that I got angry in rehearsal, don't put that in the film. They let it all out. They said, you're an artist too, you can do what you want to do. So yeah, I put it in there. That was the story. I'm very fulfilled with this movie. I'm very pleased with the outcome. It took many years to get to this point. I think when you're a filmmaker or do anything creative, you always have that fear, is it good enough? Are people going to like it? Will people show up to my film, to the screening? And every time I'm really happy with the outcome. The people come, they love the film. I'm pleased with it. I'm actually proud of it. I sit down and I watch this movie and I think, I did that? Like, I did that in my little tiny apartment in Brooklyn. I'd go to work and I'd come home and I made this. So I'm proud of myself. I'm really happy I made it and I'm ready for the next one.
And also my love for dancing, I like to give to you. So that you love that. Because you have to love what you do. And it's very important that you love what you do. And continue, please, continue to do your dancing, to share with the other people your enthusiasm, because you need that. And when I'm not going to be here, carry on our beautiful tradition of Ukrainian dance. And really, I am so proud of you.
And what's coming up next?
I actually have big plans. I'm right now working on a television show. We'll see. I'm calling it's called Second and Ninth, and it takes place in the East Village, in the Ukrainian East Village. It'll be a narrative, and it's going to be a comedy. So that's my immediate plan, is to work on this show. And then I have some feature films I'd like to do, narrative films, and everything will always be, you know, you can't take the Ukrainian out of me. So everything will always be influenced by or have this Eastern European, Slavic, Ukrainian edge. But I have a lot of projects, a lot of things I want to do. And I just need my Engelhardt to show up and to help me. So I'm right now looking for maybe a business partner or an investor to come along for the ride, because I have the film part. That part's done. I know how to make the film. And I have, as a side note, you know, I work professionally in the film industry, so I actually have a lot of contacts. So I can now take these projects to people that are influential and can maybe, you know, as a community, film isn't seen yet, I think, as an art form. I don't think that we notice how powerful the medium is and what we can do with it. So I feel like, not that it's my duty, I actually want to do this. And there's no reason not to have an entire Ukrainian slew of movies, because this is a broad brush stroke of the world we live in. And I want to delve in and do more work.
Although we struggled to get there, the show was a complete success.
To order your DVD copy of Folk, please visit www.kinorocks.com. I'm Mikhailo Curry, Center Stage for Kontakt. See you next time.